Hey everybody, this is PD from the Spin Rack, and we also have
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
we are doing Nosferatu, another vampire movie. We missed the Blade has not come out, so we finally getting to going back to the classic. What do you got to say? Any thoughts before we hit play?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I did not think they would do this. I'm, I'm also afraid of what they may have done. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
All right, cool. Let's let her rip. It's gonna be a dark Christmas. It's like the second horror. What do you say, sir?
Good grief. So we have two. What is it? Is it three remakes? No. There's two remakes and I guess one new werewolf movie. So we got the new werewolf movie. We got a remake of The Thing, and then we got a remake of Nosferatu.
No,
That
thing is just a documentary. It's not a
Oh,
remake.
just okay. So it's just a doc on just a doc on The Thing and a full fledged remake of Nosferatu that looks like it's drenched in blood. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I like vampire stuff, but to be honest, they've watered down vampires so much over the last 2 decades. I don't have the same. I don't have the same eagerness to see a film. But I might actually go see this just on a lark. I might go see this one. Take you know take a young person and like, hey, check it out. You want to see this is what it looks like over here. That's a real vampire. They don't turn into diamonds when they get in the sunlight.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't even put that into the vampire category. Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, it looks. I mean, the thing of it is, mood, style, all that stuff is nice, but I worry about what they're gonna actually do when we get to the theater. So, and when I saw, was it Bram Stoker's Dracula? Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
So I saw that in the theater. Now I think I don't. What was it? I didn't realize that Dracula was the hero of the story going into it.
He
You know,
wasn't that. He wasn't that one.
he definitely was a hero. They're like, you know what? We like this guy, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
It was like, we're gonna play this up. So we play that up. Ultimately, I think the first girl he bit, that was really the movie. She was really a character. No disrespect. Sorry, it must sound like it to Winona Ryder, but she also played pretty well on there. Just tough comparing her. Not even just how she was acting in a performance. She was like someone. Whether how I felt looks wise, I felt she commanded that these guys were chasing after her. It was a part of her personality, and then was it the Mina because it was a connection from the past, so that was a love story. But the point I bring this up is because I saw this is I don't know we saw other movies after that, but we saw this with my brother. I think my brother was a Francis Ford Coppola fan, and we go to that. We see the opening of the movie. He denounces God. He's drinking blood. He's doing all this stuff, and then it's a time passage to the next stage where Dracula is now. And my brother said out loud, like, I'm not sitting through another story right now, and went right to sleep.
What did he do
He just went to sleep.
in the theater? In the theater? In
He
the
just,
theater? Okay.
he literally just like, I'm not, dude, they starting the movie over again. I'm not sitting through that. Right? I was like, look at that. I'm thinking, look at his armor. And at that point, I didn't know that, who's that guy? Mike Mignola had designed that. I was just like, yo, look, the armor's cool. Maybe that's going to show up later. Like, I didn't say that out loud. I was just saying to myself, like, you gonna shut down, and he literally just shut. I've never seen him ever do that in a movie. I've seen him
That
react to a movie, but that was one of the funny. No, his funniest one is what's that thing? His funniest one was Crush Groove when Run is mad at his brother and he throws the money, and Colin was like, "You know he's gonna pick up that money," and the whole Kenmore fell out. Like, the whole place. I was like, damn, that was a big one for him. But yeah, it was funny seeing that, and I thought with I didn't realize maybe it's still when I watch it now I know that Gary Oldman's the hero. It's still tough for me because I don't really get that aspect of it, and everyone really seems extra lame. Keanu, even Anthony Hopkins, even though he commands his performance command, but it's still kind of like I don't think they had the right focus. They tried to get all the bits in there, and but at the same time, but it had some had some definite moments in there. This one, yeah, I just worry that it's not going to have anything. It's just going to be moods, style, maybe some gore, but then
Why worry about what you know to be true? No, we should just keep talking about that Kagi moment in the movie. That's classic right there.
yeah, so no, there's a bunch of no, even it wasn't him. It was it the Bugsy Siegel movie? That wasn't him. It was my father. We go out, had Japanese food. My father's talking about this, how big this the big thing, this that and the other. Such a fan. Gets in there, not planned on it. Sleep, falls asleep. And it's like he talked about this movie all the whole time, and he fell asleep. And he did the same if you ever saw Presumed Innocence, but he woke up in that movie, and he was like looking at Harrison Ford. And my father's like, he had to have done it. Like, who else could have done this? He's like, yo, you just woke up. But anyway, but yeah, no, I just hope for the best. It has some obviously talent, and after even though I wasn't a huge fan of the Spider-Man movie, I think Willem Dafoe killed it, and I'm just looking forward to great things from him. The guy who plays the Beast looks like he is the Nosferatu, so we'll see if he is.
Kelsey Grammer?
No, the
Oh,
other
good.
Beast.
I was about to say you saw something I didn't. I was like to say that I didn't see Kelsey Grammer in there. Okay.
I don't know the actor's name. But
You mean Baby? Okay, no, I referred to him as Baby Beast.
that,
There's Baby Beast, Baby Wong, all of them.
so, yeah, style looks good. Will there be substance? That's the question. But we're gonna have vampires, and this obviously, well, maybe this will be the original one when Nosferatu came out in the day. Like he used to hang out in the day, like messing with people. But
Well, see, Bram Stoker's Dracula is what sets the standard for a vampire and a vampire film. Once they
mhm.
decided to go with that, because this whole Nosferatu thing was its own. That was its own thing. It's not. The rules weren't necessarily established, but in Bram Stoker's Dracula, you get the Dracula could do a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, he was stuff doing. I mean, pretty much he was like the Antichrist, if you will. So he could, he had control over the weather. He could turn into mist. He could turn into a large bat. He could turn into rats. He could mesmerize somebody. But he had to be in Earth. He could not stand the sight of a crucifix. That would change in time, where you had to actually have faith in order for the crucifix to work. But initially it was like, okay, he wasn't going to be in front of a crucifix. Holy water, all those, the standard stuff was not going to get it. Was going to affect him. And if you were going to kill him, had to have you had to have a stake, and it was going to have to go through the heart. That's how it had to happen. And I remember I saw Bram Stoker's Dracula, the film, before I ever read the book.
Mm.
But then I read the book, and I noticed, like, I get to a certain page, and afterwards I was like, I'm reading some more. I'm like, wait a second, none of this happened in the film. And that's when you're like, oh man. I was like, this film is bogus. This is based on it's like they went their own way with it. So of course I finished reading the book. Well, they actually do keep the love story between Mina and Dracula is pretty much, that's the big additive. Everything else happens in the book, but that's the big additive at the end of the day into the thing. And there was this time, this love affair that spanned time or what have you. What the one thing I never got was why Mina was in love with this dude, knowing he was a vampire. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. But then they did a whole series of books, Twilight, where this chick is in love with the vampire or werewolf half the time. So I was maybe it was just symbolic of women not being able to pick well in terms of their relationships. I don't know because it just didn't make sense to me. It's like you do know he's a vampire, right? These guys are trying to kill him so you don't become a vampire. Why are you in love with this dude? Didn't make sense to me.
Well, I guess it was what was it? One of the moments where you're not prepared for what's going to happen. You have somebody over, and this my what was it? First time I had a roommate, and I had someone over when the roommate wasn't there, and I said, "You want to watch a movie?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "What do you like?" She's like, "Vampire movies, vampire movies," and I didn't have. But it was
I got a vampire movie for you.
So yeah, but it seemed like the romance thing is the thing for the vampires. I guess keeping it related. You ever see that Saturday Night Live joke on the vampires with John Travolta?
No, I don't think I ever saw that one.
Oh my God. So it's just like Bram Stoker's, he invites these guys in the house, he's a gracious host. And then, since they did the platform walking, he decides he's gonna go after one of the girls, but he left the room. And when he comes back, they're talking about him. It's like, I don't know. I think Vlad is gay. And as he's the platform walking, like, what? He starts going backwards, and then he comes back in the room trying to ingratiate himself to them, and then he goes back to kill and starts floating in, and it's like, yeah, it wasn't what I thought of, but I still think he might be gay. And he's like, going backwards, and then he comes back in to try to change their minds again before he kills them. But it was just I was on the floor. Oh my goodness. Oh man. But yeah, well, hopefully this is good. And the thing is, you don't want to be one of many. You want to be able to add something to it. And but at the same time, movies go. Just everything could be in the trailer, besides more the gore and violence and whatnot. But they know that the romance is in there, and they know that. So how much of your Twilight, your Bram Stoker's Dracula are you going to get in there? So that's the last thing I'll ask you about this. What do you think about the ending of the movie of Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula? Where Mina did all the stuff. Get rid of the vampire killers. Mina's got it.
Because I had no issue with it. I had no issue with it because of the time period in which I saw it and because I had never read Dracula. So I thought for the film, okay. Because she was pretty much telling them all to back off because, I guess, that whole thing of let somebody who loves him kills him, that type of thing, at the end of the day. But then you read the book and you're like, well, how the heck, basically in terms of what they were representing, this dude was bad news. How the heck did she pull it off? But the film is what it is, and it was Winona Ryder. So we're going to be very forgiving because it was Winona Ryder.
Yeah. All right. So as we know, or if we get to see it, we will come back and talk to you guys about it. Or if you guys watch it a lot, we'll show another trailer.
Yes.
If there's enough interest, definitely come back. But
it's up to you.
it's up to you. It's yours. Spin a rack.
We're out.
Out. Oh, that's not the right button. It's supposed to be